closed. May comes crashing into me, her arms locking around my waist. "What is it, May? What's wrong?" I ask, as she buries her face into my abdomen, sobbing. Her hands around my back, holding tight as if wanting to disappear inside of me. My eyes sweep the property, searching for signs of something off. A car, a child predator, pulling away, or the mean German shepherd running loose again. But there's nothing that I can see. The cottage where we're vacationing is in the North Woods of Wisconsin, over 5 hours north of home. It's on a lake and is one of 8 little cottages situated in hundreds of acres of woods. The lake is peaceful this morning. The only people awake besides the girls and me are fishermen in canoes. Like Elliot, my husband, who woke up early this morning and left before any of us were awake, hoping to catch something to put on the grill for dinner. I hear the slow rasp of the screen door behind me. "What happened?" Cass asks, and I turn to see her coming hesitantly out, standing unsure on the deck behind me as I hold May in my arms. "I don't know," I say. "What happened, May?" I coax, bending my knees to lower myself to her height. But May says nothing, clinging to me, her sticky hands clasped around my neck now, tugging without meaning to on my hair. And it's only when I peel them off with effort and hold her at an arm's length that I see her hands have blood on them. "What's this? Did this happen when you fell?" I ask, thinking of the way she went down just moments ago. She must have fallen on a rock or a tree root. I take her hands into mine, briefly examining them for an open wound before moving a strand of hair out of her eyes. But May only shakes her head, wiping her runny nose on a pajama sleeve before looking back at her cottage for a second time, and then lowering herself to the ground, hugging her knees into her chest, rocking. I lift my gaze. I let my eyes go to Emily and Nolan's cottage next door, which is hard to see through the thick trees. When we arrived at the lake a few days ago, I envied their cottage. Not only had Emily rented the largest one on the property, which came as no surprise considering she has 3 kids, 2 of whom are teenagers and would rather die before sharing a bed with a sibling, but hers was more private than the rest. Once the resort's main house, it's set off at a distance, so she can sit on her deck with her coffee and stare out at the placid lake without having a stranger in another cottage at an arm's reach, watching her, listening in on her conversations. "Is your mom there, May? In the cottage?" I ask about my sister-in-law, Emily. And this time she nods. "Come sit with May," I say to Cass, glancing back over my shoulder at her. "Stay here until I come back. I want to make sure everything is okay." Cass nods as she takes my spot sitting beside her cousin, her hands on May's back in a very grown-up way that belies her 10 years. As I start making my way through the trees and toward Emily and Nolan's cottage, quickening my pace by instinct, I feel a wave of unease come over me. Though I hold it back, telling myself nothing is seriously wrong, that May probably just walked in on them arguing again and got scared or upset. She overreacted. Things haven't been the best between Emily and Nolan of late. Nolan's been out of work for almost 6 months, and it's taken a toll. On him, their finances, and their marriage. He's in the tech industry, where it's almost impossible to find a job these days. Companies are laying off in record numbers. Nolan has compared it to something out of the Hunger Games. Recently, Emily and Nolan have had conversations about if they need to sell their house, their dream home, the one they planned to retire in, and downsize, which they can't agree on because they can't agree on anything anymore. They fight all the time, but had hoped a couple weeks in the woods with family and away from all the pressures of everyday life would remedy that. Though I heard them going at it just yesterday afternoon, and from the way it sounded, things were far from fixed. As I make my way through the pine trees, the cottage comes into view, looking perfectly peaceful at the top of a small hill, giving it the best view of the lake.